I've been coming here to the Highlands Cinemas since the 1980s. At that time, there was really only one, maybe two theaters, and I actually just walked in it just a few minutes ago, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it brings back so many memories of when I was a kid and enjoying the theater in the summertime. We used to come up for the whole summer, so this was the place to come to for rainy days or days that we didn't want to play Nintendo or those wonderful things. And of course, now it is so much different, so much bigger, and I live here full time, and we come every summer to enjoy the cinemas. But this past summer, I had the opportunity to bring my 14-year-old nephew Jackson to the theater for the very first time. He came up to visit us for about a week, and I said, "Hey, let's go to the movies." And he said, "Oh, that'd be awesome." I think it was Mission Impossible or something like that. But anyways, I started to talk about what the theaters were about, and he was a little bit like, "Whoa, okay," not so sure about it. And we got here, and again, it was extremely busy, so he really didn't get it and understand, everything about the theater. The movie finished. We came out into the hallway, and I said, let's use the facilities, and then let's just walk through the museum and get back to our car instead of walking through the cats. And it was that moment that the magic really happened. And I think it really struck a chord with him on really how special this place was and how magical it was. So that was kind of like, I was like so excited about that he was enjoying it the same as I did at his age. The documentary, I think it's been something in the works for many years, and it is such an amazing thing that the directors have done, recognizing Keith and recognizing everything that he is about for this community. And really, it has been being able to come here and see it in a small setting with a group of people that I actually know most of them, so we're going to experience it together and experience the magic of the Highlands Cinemas and everything that Keith has done and brought to the community and brought to the area. And kept in the area, because, geez, it was hard because, we didn't know if it was going to continue post-COVID. So that was, a scary thought that, oh my goodness, if the Highlands Cinemas went away, where would we go? What would be the special place? So tonight is one of those nights that I'm like, I think I was probably the first one that put my hand up that I'm coming, we are coming to this event because it's such an amazing place, holds so many memories for me, and then we're going to get back to the Riverside for some amazing food and further, discussions and fun back at Vicki's Riverside Inn.
So this is Keith, and he's the one that made this amazing place happen, and all we're here is for the ride because we're just amazed by everything here.
Well, the documentary, he came here 5 years ago to do a 10-minute shoot like you're doing, and then he stayed for 5 years. So when we went to the screenings, he told everybody that I said that he was like the hemorrhoid that wouldn't go away. So anyway, he finally got it done. He was going to wrap it up in 2019, but COVID came, and then he decided to wait it out to see if we were going to stay or not, because there was questions. There's been questions all along. The question was, do we convert to digital in 2013? Like, that was $300,000. And I'm 76 this year, 77 this year, 76 now. So you got to think about, do you want to do this or not? So anyway, so COVID came and went, and we're still here. And the thing that COVID did was, before this happened, I often wondered what people thought. There was all these articles done. It's been written up in Germany and England, all over the place. So TV stations have been here at least 3 times, each one of them. So one thing that happened was I started getting people coming to me in droves saying how much they appreciated the place. I think the first night we opened in 2022, somebody came up to me and said, "You don't remember me, but you put our wedding on the sign 30 years ago. We just wanted to tell you we're still married." So, and I got a lot of the, people coming up and with their kids saying, I came here when I was a little kid and now I'm bringing my kids, which made me feel older than Moses. But anyway, you know, so it was, you know, I think the one that hit me the most was the teenager who was like maybe 18 came up and said how much it meant, because kids today don't really give much thought to anything. So that was kind of interesting. So yeah, I've had a lot of that. So it's I guess, you know, for some reason I must have done something right, that people did take something away from it and did enjoy it. So can I show you around?
Absolutely, let's go
Okay.
see.
Well, okay, when we built number 4 and number 5, we decided to conceal them so that you couldn't see the theaters. If we had done it like a Cineplex, they'd be at the front door and it would all be there. So to make it look like it wasn't as big as it is, it's 18,500 square feet. It's huge. We put the theaters at the back, so to get to them we had to build this hall. So this hall became memory lane because we had to use it for something. So each one of these cases is a decade, and each case has everything from the decade. In other words, there's a gay magazine, there's TV magazines, there's computer stuff, there's movies, there's all sorts in there that you would remember, the technology, the toys, it's all there for everybody to look at. So each decade changes. This camera here was the same model Marty McFly used in filming the DeLorean going into the future. So the condo clock, everybody, oh yeah, and the chum cards. And that's the Niagara tape recorder they used for Hollywood to do the sound for the films. And the Airflex was the Rolls Royce of 16. So we got comics in there, we got yearbooks. One of my customers that comes to the theater, Barry Hart, he's in that swim team in that picture. This is the 40s. If you look in there, there's a yearbook with Norman Jewison in it. See the flag with the eagle? That's a Nazi swastika off the Radio Hamburg building. It's about 10 feet long. Okay. It's got some bullet holes in it because they shot it up when they took it down. Mm-hmm. Press cameras, ration cards, and the little baby in his dad's hands is me.
So you're through this whole place then?
Well, my ancestors are here too. They came over in 1860. Nice. Everybody's here somewhere. The plaque up there is from the Paramount, New York, and the All Range Sound is from the Eglinton Theatre in Toronto. And there's all these posters change every decade. There's one for Wizard of Oz in there, buried beneath all that stuff. The gentleman with the sword is my great-great-grandfather in 1860 in Prussia. And that's my grandfather over there. Most of these are all my ancestors.
What's the stool from?
We bought that. That's in our clothing display. We have, which is no longer in the theater.
Well, you're supposed to say it was your great-grandmother.
No, but the muff was.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, this is the third theater. And my favorite piece, the rocking horse, designed for people up to 350 pounds. Solid wood. The seats in here are from the St. Clair, and the drapes are from the International Cinema.
And where are the masks from?
Africa, the Philippines.
So they're original masks, not.
They're all original masks.
You didn't get them from Sears Roebuck?
No, those I bought in the 60s. You won't find them anymore. The Filipino ones are quite rare. This is number 4. Again, we cheated. The center of that light in the ceiling, that's an electric clock from the 60s.
That's an electric clock.
And the two pharaohs, Bartolini made me the heads, and they're underwear mannequins from Eaton's. Well, what the hell, eh? Cheaper than buying the real thing. Seriously. Waste not, want not.
That's right.
You want to see the cats? Yeah. Oh, sure. Well, let's start out here. Come on this way. We got to go this way. I'll give you the whole tour. Irene, don't forget you got to feed the bear, eh? Pardon? Don't forget you're feeding the bear and the raccoons. After these guys. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start out. This is the subdivision. I did this during COVID because I was bored. So, oh yeah, the raccoons did eat what the cat didn't. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 houses out here. The upstairs cats, they have a stairway that comes down, and then they have a subway system that runs underground and goes down to the Twin Towers. So if Hira is in the mood to impress you, she can show you how she does it. Hira, you want to show us the subway? Or are you too lazy? Looks like you're too lazy. She's a little phooey. That's too much work, and I'm not going to get a treat.
I have treats.
You know where you went in the theater?
Oh,
Well, that
beautiful.
connects.
Oh my goodness,
That
aren't you gorgeous?
that connects to the entrance of the theater house.
Did you grow up in this house or did you buy this house?
No, I built this in '78.
You built the house or you built the movie theater?
I built the house, and the theater opened in '79.
Wow.
We lived the house at the bottom of the hill, which is burnt down, was where I was born.
Right.
And then I bought property on the back street, and we had a house over there. And then I moved over here after I bought this property. There's a house over the theater right there, and it has a bridge system that the cats can travel around to the other side here. This is their bridges that go across, and then the upstairs, the ones on the east side of the house, the west side of the house, they have this pen system here. They can come down from up above, from the window, and come down. So if you walk over here,
Oh, look at it. I've never noticed this before.
yeah, it's all the cats. See, there's a cat house up here, right? Over your head where you go in, turn around.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
they're everywhere. They're everywhere, Kelly.
So the crew lives over here. They have a 1,000 square foot house. It's air conditioned. There's about 40 raccoons. There's 3 bears, a fox, a wolf, coyotes, and the whole 10 yards. We have a large gray fox in the yard, or gray wolf rather. This is Oreo's place. Grumpy used to live here. He's gone. And that's Tomcat Alley, and this is the Left Behind Lane house. There's like 18 cats in this side here. Yeah, any donations go towards the... You have to remember there's 14 houses here, all heated by hydro. There's 3 generators to run them if the hydro goes off, and portable heaters in all the houses. It takes 40 hours a week to look after them. That's on top of that is the cleaning and the litter boxes. They go through 9,000 to 10,000 cans of cat food a year. They go through $2,500 worth of Temptations. They get about 70 bags of cat food, and then they get 24 bags of urine SO, which is $140 a bag, which prevents them from clogging up. And yeah, so it's a lot of money. We had to spend $4,000 last fall because we have coyotes now. So this pen didn't have a roof, so hence, it's still not finished, but I'm working on it. We had to build a wire roof over the entire pen because a coyote can jump 8 feet and climb 14. So we had to roof it over to make it safe because these pens all had roofs. But this one didn't, and one of the others didn't. Then we had to put wire on the ground on some of the pens so they can't dig under. That all got done. Irene did that. She was out there with her snippers and a screwdriver. Yeah. Food's okay. The problem is quite often with food, we never know if they're going to like it because they're the pickiest 60 cats you've ever seen. Some of them don't like shreds.
Homeless cats.
If you look over here now, you start seeing them. That's Gidget over there, and that's Splash, and Spooky, and yeah. All the animals here are spayed and neutered. That's normal. Well, they also have to be blood tested for FIV, feline AIDS.
So you have a lot of medical bills for them.
And this is the crew.
You built tiny homes for all your cats?
Well, yeah, I had to put them somewhere. So when you come in here, just don't talk. Hi guys, what's happening? Hello, what you up to, eh? Hi, I see ya. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is Elsa. This is Twix. That's Errol. And Mars. They're all named after chocolate bars. So what time were you wanted them to start?
Everyone's coming in. told them the movie's starting at 5 o'clock.
Okay, I should probably give her a hand if they're going through the candy bar.
I just want to welcome you all and thank you so much for coming. Of course, we're all here to see The Movie Man, which is a documentary about Keith Stata, who built and owns and has run this amazing and crazy movie theater for as long as all of us can remember, I think. And we're so glad that many of you are here with your stories. And thank you so much for coming. We'll be starting the show at 5 o'clock, and Keith is going to do a Q&A after that. So from 6:30 till 7, Keith will answer some questions. Don't get him started, because he will go on. And please, when you're leaving, see the cats and all that stuff. Dinner's going to be back at the restaurant when you get there after 7:15. And most importantly, just thank you so much for supporting this place, because we're all so pleased that this local legend is part of our community. Yay!
It was totally different than anything that existed.
When I go to the screens,
you're feeling happiness that actually somebody came, somebody enjoyed, somebody.
So if you have any questions, now's the time before I forget why I'm here.
Until I see this movie.
Yeah, well, I still remember. I still remember building number 1. We didn't have any money, and we were working on Ivor Thompson's basement from 8 o'clock until 5. Then we were doing the plaster until 1 in the morning. Yeah, so yeah, it was a lot of fun, and everything was a heart attack trying. Even this one here, this one, about a week before we were supposed to open, we were still trying to get the ceiling finished, and that was one day. I decided whatever I can do in one day, that's what we're doing, and it took one day to get that up there. So, yeah, well, all I did was drive a spike in the middle of the ceiling and went around got a line going, and then we built the rest from there. And that, when I found out they wanted $3,000 for the plaster dome, that dome at the back was $25. It's an old radar dish. We just dug it out of the guy's lawn. He was using it for a bird bath and brought it. So.
And we've seen it morph since then, and it's been...
Well, it really morphed from 40 years ago. There was a couple that came back in 2022 when we opened again, and they reminded me that 30 years before that, we'd put the announcement of their wedding on the theater sign, and they just wanted to tell me they were still together. We've had some great staff. Don't get me wrong. We've had staff that were absolutely excellent. And some of them were with us for 8 years, 4 years of high school and 4 years of college. But it's getting harder. And I think the most gratifying thing, I said to somebody today, is that I've had teenagers come up to me and say how much the place means to them, which is pretty gratifying because they're not the generation known for being sentimental about anything. So, you know, I was warned in the beginning there was no money in cat farming and movie theaters in Kinmount, and I didn't listen, so that's where we wound up. So.
And the movie is a role model for young children, so I hope there's a distribution channel for kids to see this show.
Well, it is being distributed in Canada and the United States, and it has shown in a lot of places. I got a check for the cats the other day from Revelstoke, so if people are watching it, it's going to be in England, and it's going on. What the hell's the... It's listed at the front of this movie, Hollywood Suite streaming platform at the end of July. So they're coming up here with a busload of reporters and movie people to see it. And it's interesting to note that a lot of people have seen this movie. Paul Rubens saw it. There was a... I don't know if you know who Eddie Vedder is. Pearl Jam? Well, apparently he's a good friend of Matt's, and Matt gave him a link to watch the movie, and so he was going to visit some friends. And so he phoned Matt and said, do you mind if I show it to them? And he said, no, who are you going to see? He was going to see Barack Obama. So Martin Sheen has seen it. what's his name, Cillian Murphy. There's a lot of people have seen this, Jane Fonda. So it has circulated around in the Hollywood thing, and some of those people want to come up and see the theater, so it's gratifying. The problems with film were a lot simpler. I still remember when we ran Air Force One. Let me see, that was the night to remember. It was the Saturday of the holiday weekend, and there was a lightning storm, and the power went out 3 times. So every time it went out, it stopped the automation on the machines, and every projector in the place quit. So there's a walkway above the building going across between floor and 2 and 3, and I'm out there in the bloody pouring rain, and the kid in front of me accidentally locked the door. So I had to start all the movies 3 times, and then when we started Air Force One, there was smoke in the room, and the motor on the take-up quit. So my business partner had to wind the film by hand, which didn't go well. And then the staff came and said, "Do you know that there's a problem in 4?" And I said, "No." And well, apparently there was 2 kids that were drunk, and they vomited all over the people in front of them. So at that point, we shoved them out and said, "Go to a drive-in next time, please." And cleaned up the theater and started over. So, you know, it's always an adventure. Well, I never actually lived in Toronto. I was in Toronto for 2 years. But this theater, that black door is the ladies' room door from the Vaughan. The urinals in the men's room are from the Willow. The front doors are from the International Cinema, and the drapes in number 4 are from the Willow, and in number 3 they're from the International Cinema. So we have pieces of those theaters here. Those ticket windows on the back wall are from the O'Brien in Pembroke. As of about 2 months ago, I went on strike. Normally the routine is 100 hours a week in the summer and 60 in the winter. And basically, I'm 77 this year, and I thought, well, this is ridiculous. So right now I stop at 10:30, and every night I watch a movie. I bought 70 foreign films I wanted to watch. Interesting to note, every one of them had to be brought from Europe. You can't find, even if they're made in Canada, you can't buy them here. They have to be region B. So anyway, I'm going through those right now, and then I'll work my way through all the other stuff I haven't seen. There's just no market. We ran Grease last year just for the hell of it to see what would happen, and we ran one other one, and it did okay, but nothing to write home about. And that generation's passing away too that remembers those movies, so the kids are not... I know more people in the graveyard than the town. So anyway, they don't talk back is the big problem. So anyway, that, yeah, like we used to run Rocky Horror every year until they they threw eggs one year and brought in fire extinguishers, and we're still trying to get the rice out of the drapes. So, but yeah, so there just isn't the market anymore. We have people come in and do private rentals to watch things.
We should do Rocky Horror, right?
Yeah.
Well, only on the condition you behave yourself.
Oh, wait.
You had a question?
Who came up with the idea of the movie man?
Well, that was a fun one. Matt Finland phoned me about 6 years ago, and he said, "I'd like to come on the weekend and shoot a little bit of film." Well, the problem was he came on that weekend and he stayed 5 years. And when he goes to the screenings, his favorite line is that he told him he was like a hemorrhoid that wouldn't go away, which is why the film got colorful, because after a point I ignored him, and he wasn't really he was a fly on the wall, and I wasn't really paying any attention, so maybe I should have more, but anyway. So anyway, he was going to stop just before COVID, but then when COVID came, he decided to stick around. But there have been a lot of people who have come here that went off into the film industry. I get them to come in once in a while, and they'll tell me, the story, but there's one kid that used to come here, he's out in BC working in film now, so I don't know. And the reason, by the way, that we feed the bears is it got to the point that one night a gentleman phoned and said, "My daughter's at the theater, but she can't get in." And I said, "Why?" He says, "Well, the bear's in front of the door and his ass is blocking it." So I decided that we better do something. It's kind of like the mafia. You pay them off and they don't come in.
It doesn't bother me. I'm just These 3 bags go out to the bears.